We're going to start standing on the mat, guys.
Can we not start on the floor?
It's that kind of a day, Mary, is it?
Yeah.
I'll get you guys to the floor very shortly. But just to get those hip joints and hamstrings moving, just give me 10 kicks back and forth. Lovely. Getting a little bit more tension in the leg to feel out the hamstring. And then 10 on the opposite side. Lovely, guys. Once you're done, we're just going to go for 10 leg lifts. So nice and controlled, starting with the foot pointed out in front, squeezing the quad for 10 reps. Try and take that second pause at the top and control it back down. Ten and 10 again. Move that back a little. Perfect. And when you're done then, guys, just bring feet together or slightly apart. You can keep your knees a little bit bent in this one. We're just going to take a couple of good mornings or hinge forward, feeling out those hamstrings. Keeping that back nice and flat or even slightly arched in that lower back. So reaching that tailbone. Chest up, guys. You can even look forward to encourage that chest from rounding or to stop the chest from rounding forward. Lovely, guys. I want you to pause in the last rep. I want you to stay here in this position. All right, you're going to take your hands just above your knees and push them straight and hold here in this position, guys. So pushing the knees back, reaching the tailbone back, nice flat back. Just feeling that nice hamstring stretch. Couple of deep breaths here. Think about lengthening the spine all the way through the crown of the head. As flat as you possibly can. If you have a little look over to my back, head and neck. Beautiful. And guys, from here, guys, I'm going to allow myself round forward. I want you to grab your elbows, let your head hang heavy. And you're just going to take a couple of sways here, left to right. Keep the knees locked if you can. Letting the upper body hang heavy. A couple of deep breaths. Very nice. All right, guys, from here, if you can get hands to the floor, if not, you can, if you have something you can raise the floor with, you can see I have 2 yoga blocks here. And I just want you to take a couple of pedals here. So bending and straightening the opposite legs. And keeping that hinge as much as you can. Lovely, guys. From here, I'm going to step forward with my left foot and back with my right. My feet are about hip distance apart, but both my feet are facing forward, like on a train track. It's great, you guys, if you do have some sort of support for the upper body. If you can see, my hands are on 2 yoga blocks. So from here, guys, my left leg's in front. I'm going to just pull that hip back, if that makes sense. So I might be a little bit twisted or open. I'm going to try and square off those hips by pulling my hip back in line. And then dropping my tummy onto my quad as much as possible, keeping the length through the spine. So getting a really nice stretch into that front leg hamstring. Lovely. I'll take a little check-in with you guys. Beautiful, very nice. Keep holding so that knee is locked out completely. And from here, guys, I'm going to walk my hands forward and see if I can take more weight onto that front leg and point my back toe. All right, and I can support my upper body as much as I need, but I have all my weight on my front leg. My knee is fully locked out. My back leg, I'm able to lift it off the floor comfortably. And from here, guys, I'm going to do 10 leg lifts with that back leg. All right. And you can pull your chest down a little bit more, but big focus on keeping a lockout on your front knee. Lovely. And as your leg swings up, try to pull your chest a bit lower. Almost like that seesaw action. Lovely. All right, once you've done 10, guys, bring that back foot back, plant it on the floor. I just want you to walk your hands into the center. So you're in this narrow straddle position. And just again, we'll just take a little hang out here, cross the elbows, drop the head, and even a couple of side to sides here. Notice here one leg. So whatever hamstring you were stretching should feel a bit looser here. All right, and when you're ready, bring your supports with you. Walk your hands over to the opposite side, rotate the feet. Again, they're about hip distance apart. Both feet facing forwards. And now I'm going to pull my hip back in line. Turn my tailbone to the sky. Try and get a nice straight spine here. And just holding in this stretch, equal weight on both feet to begin with. Breathing and supporting the upper body as much as you need. Keep that front hip, guys, pulled or tucked back if that makes sense. So both hips are in good alignment. Okay, from here, I'm going to walk my supports forward, take all my weight onto that front leg, point my back foot to free up that leg. And again, using my supports as much as I need, I'm going to go for 10 controlled leg kicks with that back leg, pulling my chest down as I do so. Very nice. Lovely work, guys. And then just bring it back to center one more time. All right, I'm going to get you to drop your supports out to the side. Heel toe your feet together. So big toe, knuckles, ankles are together. We're going to drop down into a deep squat. And we're just going to make our way through 10 reps. You all know this one, 2 bounces at the bottom, then send the hips up and back, and 2 bounces in your pike fold. Very nice, guys. On your last rep, just hang out in that forward fold for me. And once again, I want you now to heel toe your feet out to a squat position. And then when you're ready, drop those hips down into a nice deep squat. Beautiful. Take your elbows on the inside of those knees, drive them out. And we're going to take a little ankle stretch here, guys. You can drop one knee to the floor. And then frame that bent knee using the upper body to push that knee out over the big toe. Keep your heel planted. Try to find a nice stretch into your Achilles. Beautiful. Keep holding here for another 30 seconds. Super work, guys. And you come back through your squat and take that to the opposite leg. Very nice, guys. 30 more seconds here. Excellent. All right, you can bring yourself back out, guys. I'm going to turn us over to our spider lunge. So when you're ready, taking one foot up, hands both inside that front leg, taking the back foot off the floor. We'll just start with a couple of hip bounces here. Pulling that front knee out over your pinky toe, create as much space as you can. Maybe draw some circles with those hips in both directions. All right, when you're ready, we'll drop that back knee to the ground. And we're just gonna lift our chest up. You can bring your hands to your hips if it feels comfortable, or rest them on your knees, but I'm gonna drop those hips through, letting the weight of my shoulders push down through my hips. And just take a nice stretch here. Again, actually, guys, if you have a support here to raise the floor, just to give you a little bit of support or balance. But I really want you to think about dropping those hips through. So you're trying to create a nice straight line between your two knees and your hips. So I don't want you to hold back here. Let them sink down and through. Lift the chest. And breathe. And guys, just watch for twisting here. So that front knee or that front hip, I want you to just make sure you're pulling that hip back so that you're not twisting open, keeping those hips nice and aligned facing forward. Good, and from here, without moving anything, just pull the hips back, straighten out that front knee. And I'm going to take a couple of point and flex with that toe. And hinging into this as much as you can, focusing on a nice straight back. All right, and that next step, I'm going to keep my toes pulled up to the sky, pulling in towards my hamstring, and give me some waves with the sole of your foot. So left to right, getting a little bit of rotation into that hip joint. And you can take it kind of slow here. Maybe take a pause as much as you can with the foot turned out to the left. See where that stretch feels, and then turn it inward as much as you can. Feel where that is. Lovely, guys. And I'm going to point that toe as much as I can and just see how much you can drop the chest. Focusing on closing from the hinge point. So lower belly coming or pressing down to upper thigh. When we round the back, it kind of can create space in here, which I want you to avoid. So nice flat back, trying to close like a book. All right, very nice, guys. From here, I'm just going to come up to a half kneeling position. Again, if you have anything you can hold on to, like if you're next to a wall, just for a little extra balance here. We're going to go for a nice hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to reach back and grab that foot and try to get it all, or my heel all the way onto my butt cheek, keeping my rib cage down. This is like a couch stretch away from the wall. You can take that front foot a little bit wider for balance, and then maybe you can grab that foot with 2 feet. Think of tucking the tailbone here. So if I stick my hips back, I don't feel much of a stretch. If I tuck my hips under, so think of a hollow position, now I can really feel that stretch into my quad. So big tuck, guys. Pull those hips forward and under. Lovely. And release. And we'll take it to the opposite side. Ooh. So any little readjustment you need to make. And then take that opposite leg out in front. Hands start on the inside. Take that back knee up and a couple of hip bounces here. And some circles. Lovely. Then we'll drop that back knee to the ground. Get your supports ready, guys. You can start by just picking up your shoulders. And remember, I'll just show you here, guys, if you can see me at the moment, you see I'm kind of turned at an angle. And this front hip is out in front of the opposite hip. So I'm going to pull that hip back. Shoulders, hips, everything is facing forward. And then from here, let that knee travel forward. Have your supports ready. Dropping the hip down. Again, watch that you're not twisting. So keeping this hip pulled back, and that will actually give you a little bit of support as well in the position. Very nice. And some deep breaths here. Jenny, if you can take your front foot out in line with your knee. So rather than having it under here, even slightly in front. Yeah. Nice deep breaths, guys. Keep a focus on pulling this hip back. Excellent. And from here, just straighten that front knee. And start with your toe flex and point. And hinging or leaning into it as much as you can. Locked out knee, of course. And then, guys, we'll hold those toes to the sky, pull them back, feel that kind of burny sensation in the back of the hamstring. And we'll do our left to right rotations. And try to imagine this all the way into your hip joint. So your hip is twisting inside that ball and socket joint. Working on that rotation. And you can even take a pause with your toes outward. That feels very tight for me, very different to the other side. And then a pause with your foot pulled inward. And just notice that stretch. Okay, when you're ready, then point the toe, get lots of tension in that front leg, squeeze the kneecap and drop that chest as much as you can. Turn your tailbone back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Nice long head and neck. Try not to drop the chin down, guys. Pick the head and chin up. Lovely. So no one should be down here with their head, guys. Lift that head. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lovely. Okay, from here, guys, lift your chest, come up to your half kneeling position. And again, if you need to take a little bit of balance here somewhere, or maybe take that front foot wider, so you have that wider base of support. And then you're going to grab that back foot, pull your heel to your butt cheek. Actually, with two hands there, you can get a good bit of stability here. As I said, keep the front foot nice and wide. And then big tuck of the pelvis, pulling the pelvis down and under to find that stretch right into your quad. Lovely, everybody. Looking good. So guys, as you keep holding in that stretch, if you guys have a towel, t-shirt, anything that you can just wrap around the top of your foot, we're going to lie on our back for the next stretch and take our foot up to 90 degrees. And if you have something, if you don't have anything, you can just grab your leg, but if you have something you can wrap around your foot, perfect, Jenny, a band, ideal. Skipping rope is fine. Apron if you're in the kitchen. All right, guys, so go ahead and relax, grab whatever piece of equipment you have. As you can see, I'm just using a long sleeve shirt here. Okay, Mary, I've got you down to a lying position.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what we're doing because I can't see anything on the screen.
All right, so pop yourself down. You can keep your knees bent for the setup. Take one foot, wrap your whatever you're using around the sole of your foot, and then see if you can get that leg or heel to kick up to the sky. Nice straight position. It doesn't matter how much of an angle. I am, of course, looking for 90 degrees if you have it. All right, once you're here, then you can lengthen out the opposite leg. And as well as holding onto your piece of equipment here, I want you to actively pull your toes down towards your body. Wonderful. And we're just going to hang out here, guys, for 90 seconds. I got that clock on here. So another minute, guys. I'm going to come up and check you guys out. Really nice. Some deep breaths. Comfort, can you straighten your knee for me? There you go. Even if it means lowering the angle of that leg, that's fine. And you can relax the head and neck, guys, just holding on with one or two arms, whichever is more comfortable. Very nice. I'm just going to ask you guys to try and push away from the stretch now. So try and bring your foot to the ground, but holding it back with your equipment if that works. For 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pull it even closer. There we go. So hopefully get a little bit more on that angle, a little bit closer to your 90 degrees. And now just to change it up, guys, if you can, I'm going to ask you to point your foot to the sky. And see if you can get a little bit more pull back on that leg. And go for 30 more seconds on this side, make it 2 minutes. Keeping that quad, guys, nice and...
Changed legs at all? No, yeah.
We haven't changed legs, Mary.
Ned is distracting me.
We're in a developmental stretch. Beautiful, guys. And hopefully that's eased a little bit. So for the last 10 seconds here, I just want you to pull that leg as close as you can. You can point or flex. Point or flex your toe, whatever feels better. Beautiful, guys. Nice, Donal. And you can ease out of that one, guys. Well done. That was a fast 2 minutes. And just get you to change over to your opposite leg. So again, start with both legs bent, then you're going to straighten that leg with the band around your foot. Most important thing here, guys, is we're finding lockout with the knee. So it doesn't matter how far you can pull your leg towards your body. I'm looking for lockout first. And just think of like a 65-70% stretch here. You shouldn't be killing yourself yet. Lovely. And then when you're ready, extend the opposite leg. And take some nice deep breaths. Just settle into the stretch. Right now we have our toes pulling towards us. Try to relax the head and neck, keeping just tension in that leg that you're stretching. And just using the natural weight of the arms to pull down on the foot. Okay, when I say go, guys, we're going to go for that little active stretch again. So you're going to try and draw the foot down to the floor, but resisting by pulling back on that band. Ready, off we go for 10, 9, 8. So allow the legs to close a little bit. 7, feel the muscles working. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pull that foot even further towards you. Try to get to that 90 degrees. Maybe you go past it slightly. Beautiful, guys. And we're going to point the toes now. As you point that toes, that might make the stretch feel a little easier, or maybe you're tighter in that position. Beautiful straight knees, guys. Really, really good lockouts. Excellent. So last 20 seconds here. Let's try and pull that leg as close as we can. Big effort here. You can think 100% all in now for 15 seconds. And breathe. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful, guys. That's my little gift to you this evening. We didn't finish in our usual splits tonight. A little bit nicer. You're on your back, relaxing-ish.